Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining this webinar, which is on strategizing and foolproofing your business analysis certifications from IIBA, namely CBAP and CCBA, specifically when BABOK 3.0 has been launched. So thank you very much for joining this webinar. So first, let me introduce you to the panel. Most of you know it, but let me introduce you so that you are able to use the panel effectively. There is an open and close panel button over here. You press, this closes, and you press it again, it comes over, right? There is also a view where you can select the full screen view. There is a button for audio where you can use the telephone or you can use the mic and speakers of your laptop. There is an audio setup that can help you set up the volume and you can use, if you want to use the telephone, you will have to use the ID that is displayed on your screen. So you will have to use that audio pin. And if you have any question, please submit that question in your window and I'll answer all the questions. Also, there is a hand. So if you have an urgent question and you would like me to address that question as we are going through this presentation, please raise your hand and I'll answer that question. About me, as you know, my name is Surendra Saxena, and here is my email address and phone number as you see on your screen. I'm one of the co-founders and managing director of Vellicate Technologies, which I founded about 6 years back. In fact, we will be celebrating our 6th anniversary just in a couple of months. I come with about 30 years of industry experience. Past assignment was vice president and head of a business unit for Sasken. Before that, I was heading the Hyderabad operations of Lucent Technologies as a director. And I was the chief operating officer of Daewoo Telecom, which was a Korean group. And I started my career with CDOT and moved to Alcatel later on. I am basically an engineer. I did my master's from Roorkee in computer science and graduation from Gwalior. I belong to Gwalior, MP. And I did my MBA from FMS Delhi University. So that's about me. Now, what we are going to do in this particular session, we will spend some time understanding what is BABOK 2.0 is. And then we will learn about BABOK 3.0, which was launched in April middle. So we will see what are those key differences in BABOK 3.0 over its previous version 2.0. And then we will also discuss how BABOK 3.0 can impact your certification plans, CBAP and CCBA. And how can you strategize and foolproof your CBAP and CCBA. So that's what we are going to cover, and there will be enough time for the questions and answer. So that's what we are going to cover. And before we go, I would like to see, okay, so move forward. So let me introduce you to the BABOK 2. Some of you might be knowing this. So I would like to first introduce you the BABOK 2. There is one question, was this session done in May? No, this is a new session. That session was another one. So this is BABOK 2.0 structure, and I would like to introduce you this BABOK 2.0. All these areas that you see in the solid rectangles, they are called knowledge areas. And let me quickly go over these knowledge areas. And I will start from the innermost broken line rectangle. So enterprise analysis is the knowledge area where we identify the business need, which is a problem or an opportunity. We identify what are the gaps in the capabilities of the organization to fulfill those needs. We identify the approaches to bridge those gaps, and we develop the business case for the best approach that we select. These approaches are selected through another knowledge area called solution assessment and validation. So the solutions could be available directly in the market, and you go directly to the solution assessment once you identify the business need, or the solution might be constructed, might be developed. If it has to be developed, then we do the requirements analysis. where we detail the requirements, we prioritize the requirements, organize the requirements, model the requirements, document the requirements, we verify the requirements, validate the requirements. So all that work is done in requirements analysis. And in the solution assessment and validation, we compare the solutions that are available readily or the solutions that we are constructing, and make an assessment of which is the best solution and recommend that best solution which will meet the business need. So that's what is done over here. Now, during this process, you need to elicit the requirements. Elicit means pulling the requirements from different sources. You might have to pull the business need. You might have to pull the requirements about various solutions that exist, the knowledge about those solutions, or the solution requirements. So elicitation is applicable for all these three knowledge areas. So elicitation is all about actually uh, learning about the techniques to elicit the requirements. And on the other side, you have requirements management and communication, which is all about managing the change in the requirements and communicating the requirement to all the stakeholders so that everyone is on the same page, right? Business analysis, planning and monitoring is all about planning the business analysis activities, planning all these requirements effort. So you plan the activities which are related to innermost three knowledge areas: enterprise analysis, solution assessment and validation, requirements analysis. And you also plan the entire thing, including elicitation and requirements management communication. What are the techniques that you are going to use for eliciting different type of requirements? Who are you going to use these techniques with? Who are the stakeholders? How will you manage the change in the requirements? What is the mechanism for communicating these requirements with different stakeholders so that they see eye to eye, they are on the same page, right? So all these things are also dealt with in business analysis planning, where we are making the plan for all these activities. And monitoring, which is a tracking actually. So the plan has to be tracked, plan has to be monitored, plan has to be tweaked with respect to the progress. So that's what is done in business analysis planning and monitoring. And you have underlying competencies, which are the soft skills that make the business analyst effective. So these are like negotiation skills, communication skills, conflict management, ethics, trustworthiness, business knowledge. So all those underlying competencies that will make the business analyst successful. So this is the structure of BABOK 2.0. And BABOK 2.0, the BABOK guide contains description of generally accepted practices in the field of business analysis. So BABOK guide contains a description of generally accepted practices in the field of business analysis. Now, these generally accepted practices, they change over time, and therefore the BABOK has to change over time. And that is the reason why we have the new BABOK. So let's understand what's there in BABOK 3, right? So BABOK 3, as you know, was launched by IIBA in the month of April, on 15th of April. And I'm going to describe the key changes over BABOK 2. So first of all, the goal of BABOK 3, why IIBA came with BABOK 3, what are the main goals? Okay, so the goal of BABOK 3, the first goal was incorporate new concepts and practices in use since the last revision. So since BABOK 2.0 came, there were new concepts and new practices because business analysis field is evolving, and those concepts and those practices need to be incorporated in BABOK. So this was one of the goal of BABOK 3.0. Also addressing and address the broadening and evolving scope of the profession. The profession is evolving, and address that scope. Also incorporate the lessons learned from the practitioners who have worked with the current version 2.0. So how did they find version 2.0? So understand those lessons that have been learned by the practitioners. Improve the readability and usability. A lot of people actually said that it is very difficult to read BABOK 2.0. And some of the changes have been made in BABOK 3.0 that makes it more readable, more understandable. Improve the consistency and quality of text and illustrations. Those of you actually who have seen BABOK 2.0, there are some inconsistencies. the way the diagrams are drawn, the way the pictures are drawn. So there are some inconsistencies which are corrected, and also the illustrations and the pictures are much better. Improve consistency with other generally accepted standards related to the practice of business analysis. There are other standards that are available, and there was also an effort to make these standards consistent with others, so that they are not contradicting. Vellicate Technologies is very proud to be participating in the development of BABOK 3.0. In fact, two of our consultants have contributed in the development of BABOK 3.0 from India, and our partner Watermark Learning, three of the contributors are coming from them. So we had 5 contributors in BABOK 3.0, and we had been contributing for past 2.5 years. So that's a great pride for us, and I will be very happy to answer the questions that you might be having. So let's look at the changes in BABOK 3.0 over BABOK 2. So first one is business analysis, planning and monitoring, that knowledge area title. And here we are talking about only title. There are some changes within the knowledge areas. Some tasks got added and a lot of improvement have happened. But we are talking about the title of the knowledge area because that reflects the work that undergoes in that particular knowledge area. So business analysis, planning and monitoring remains with the same theme, that we need to plan the business analysis activities and we need to track the progress against those activities. Okay, elicitation, which is pulling the information from different sources. So elicitation became elicitation and collaboration, because it is not only pulling the information from different stakeholders, different sources, it is also actually collaborate with those stakeholders to solve that problem together. It is not you versus me. So collaboration is an excellent concept that got added to elicitation. Very welcome concept. The third knowledge area, requirements management and communication, that became requirements lifecycle management, because it is not only managing the change in the requirements and communicating the requirements. It's all about actually managing the requirements throughout the life cycle. And a lot of things can change in that. Actually, the context can change. So context may have to be reflected in the new requirements. Requirements themselves can change. The requirements detailing and their implementation plan can change. So we will have to actually manage the requirements life cycle rather than managing the requirements themselves and communicating the requirements. So this is a broader theme that has evolved. Enterprise analysis. So enterprise analysis was a knowledge area in which we identify the business need. We identify what are the gaps in the capabilities of the organization. We identify what are the solution approaches and which is the right approach, and develop a business case for that. Many of the business analysts felt that this is something that is not applicable to them. They don't develop the business case, and it is someone else who develops the business case. Right, so that area has undergone changes, and it is now strategy analysis. We need to see actually what is the strategy of the organization to fulfill that particular business need, and business case is one part of that actually. So this area has undergone change. Requirements analysis, which is all about actually analyzing those requirements for the solution, which has become now requirements analysis and design definition. This was another area which got debated a lot. Do business analysts need to do something on the design side? Do you have to design the solution? Do you have to work on the design, on defining the design, not doing the design, but defining the design, right? Which is an important aspect when you are working on the solution. You simply cannot only define the solution requirements and leave it there. There are design considerations that need to be looked into. What is the hardware? What is the software? What are the processes? Who are the stakeholders? What is the characteristics of those stakeholders? How do we move from the existing solution to new solution, right? A lot of those things which are related to the design, defining the design, have to be incorporated in requirements analysis. So again, a very welcome change in requirements analysis. And solution assessment and validation became solution evaluation. We need to evaluate various solutions and actually present the best that meets those particular need. It has gone that change, and now focus is evaluating various solutions and recommending the best one. Right, underlying competencies, the name remains same, however something got added. Right, so a lot of changes in BABOK 3.0, and BABOK 3.0 actually has emerged a lot. Some more details about it. In addition to these changes in the name of the knowledge areas, one of the major change is inclusion of a business analysis core concept model, BACCM. And this is a major change, and I'm going to spend some time on this BACCM. We will not go deeper into it because we don't have time, and this is a topic in itself. IIBA Chennai chapter has planned another session completely focused on BABOK 3.0. So we will wait for that session and let Ashish Mehta deliver the details of BABOK 3.0. So inclusion of BACCM is one of the important change that we saw in BABOK 3.0. Also expanded the scope and role of business analysis in creating better business outcome. Business analysis is all about delivering better business outcome. And this actually, BABOK 3.0 expanded the role of business analysis in doing that. Also, there are some perspective that describe the specialized way in which the business analysis profession is performed, and they provide unique value to the enterprise, and those perspectives have been included. So I'll also touch upon those perspectives. Also expanded the underlying competencies to better reflect the diverse skill set that business analysts need to possess. So even that got included. And there are new techniques that have emerged, in the practice of business analysis. Some of them due to the nature of change in our knowledge areas, and some of them have been tweaked to reflect that. Some new techniques that were relevant and that have been included. So new techniques have also come. There were 34 primary and 20 secondary techniques in BABOK 2.0, and there are many more that got added, which I will cover in this presentation. So this is a BACCM, Business Analysis Core Concept Model. And this is the new addition, right? This is the new addition. This reflects around this goes around the 6 themes. So one is the change. There is something that has changed in the environment, which presents either an opportunity or a problem that need to be actually addressed. Now, this change has to be looked in terms of the context, why this change has happened. So we need to look at the context, the environment under which this change has occurred. We need to see who are those stakeholders that are impacted, and we need to work with them actually for this change. And this change actually presents an opportunity to identify the need, right? What is the need for the enterprise in this environment? That need to be serviced through a solution, right? So the solution need to be there, and solution need to add the value to the organization. And all these things are related. Solution, when we design the solution, need to keep the stakeholders in mind, need to keep the context in mind, need to reflect that change, right? So these 6 elements of core concept model are key concepts, and this is very, very important. Especially I like the change, and IIBA talks the change as a controlled transformation of an organization, because a lot of things are happening around us, and the organization need to transform itself to accommodate, to take advantage of the opportunity that is presented because of the change, rather than taking change as something which is unwanted. Right, so change is a very good concept that has come up. Context is another very good concept that has come up. The value, which is important concept that has come. Stakeholder is not new. Solution was not new, and business need was not new. So they were there. So these are this is the new addition in terms of BACCM. Also the perspective, in what environment the business analysts work. So perspective, and so 5 perspective got added. The first perspective is agile. The way a business analyst work on agile project is entirely different than you work in a waterfall project, right? So agile is a new perspective that got added. Earlier, there was an agile extension to BABOK. However, people found that it was too bulky, not useful. So therefore, this got integrated, and this actually focuses on the business analysis aspect on agile projects. So that is a one perspective. The second perspective is business intelligence. This is all about the big data, analysis of that data, and drawing intelligence out of the data. So business intelligence got added. Information technology, IT is very different than non-IT kind of business, and therefore information technology, IT is a perspective. So how the business analysts work on IT projects. Business architecture is another one. As you see, the technology has provided the control of the business processes in the hand of the end consumers, and therefore organizations need to really develop a new business architecture to be successful and thrive in this environment, to be a major player in their own field. So therefore, business architecture is another perspective that got added, and business analysts they will require different skills, different way of working, different competencies for working as a business architect. And the last one is business process management. Processes have become very complex over time due to the technology, and these, because the processes have become complex, their implementation is also very complex, and therefore business process management required a special attention. So BPM is another perspective that got added. So these are the 5 new perspectives that have come. So business analysis core concept model, 6 areas over there, and these 5 perspective. This is the addition, and to support this, there are new techniques that got added. Okay, so these 17 techniques that got added in BABOK 3.0. Backlog management, balance scorecard, business capability analysis, business case, which was part of enterprise analysis. This is a new technique now. Business model canvas, collaborative games, concept modeling, data mining, decision modeling, financial analysis, mind mapping, prioritization, process analysis, roles and permission metrics, stakeholder list, stakeholder map, and stakeholder personas. So these new techniques got added in addition to the old techniques. Some of the techniques also underwent change. So for example, in BABOK 2, it was benchmarking was the technique, and it has become benchmarking and market analysis. Data dictionary and glossary, they were combined together, which now got split into 2, data dictionary and glossary separately, because they do deserve actually to be separate. Structured walkthrough has become reviews, because this is more acceptable term. People were confused with the structured walkthrough, so reviews are a better term. Risk analysis has become risk analysis and management, because if you are not managing the risk, what's the use of analysis? Right, so another change that has happened in the technique. Scenario and use cases has become use case and scenario, because that is the right terminology. You first define the use case and then you define the scenarios, not other way. Requirements workshop became a workshop, because it could be for anything, right? So some techniques underwent change, and this is the change that has happened over BABOK 2.0. Okay, so a lot of changes actually. BABOK 3.0 has grown in double in its size, from 250 pages in version 2.0 to over 500 pages. So it is double the size that is there. So let's see actually how does it impact your CBAP and CCBA preparation, right? So we will spend some time on that. How does it impact? And this part has some questions and answers, which I will take some of them now, and I'll take other questions towards the end of this presentation. So some of the latest news, and this news is as latest as yesterday, right? So probably you are hearing for the first time. First one is that BABOK 2.0 based CBAP and CCBA will be available till first quarter of 2016. So this is a good news for those of you who are planning your CBAP and CCBA, and you were getting a little nervous with this, bigger BABOK coming. So you still have time till quarter 1 of 2016. IIBA will announce when the exams based on BABOK 3.0 be available. The date has not been announced, and they will announce in due course of time. When they announce the both version 2 based exams and version 3 based exams will be available simultaneously for up to 6 months time. Okay, so those of you who want to take the exam is still based on BABOK 2.0, you can do that. And those of you who want to prepare for 3.0 based exams, you will be able to do that. So this is an announcement that has recently come up. So let's take some of the common questions, and I will proactively answer them, and I'll take more questions on them. So these are the questions that we have been receiving from our audiences. So I would take those questions proactively. The first one is, will my version 2.0 based CBAP and CCBA remain valid after 3.0 comes? Or I will have to rewrite the exam again based on 3.0? This is the question that I have heard many times. So should I, when I earned that version, CBAP and CCBA based on 2.0, do I have to really rewrite the exam again? And answer is no. Your CBAP and CCBA based on BABOK 2.0 will remain valid. You don't have to rewrite the exam based on 3.0. It will remain valid. Okay. So no need to worry. You don't have to rewrite your CBAP or CCBA. Second question that I have consistently heard from people is, should I wait and write the exam based on BABOK 3.0? And well, this is your choice. But one thing is that BABOK 3.0 exams are still about 9 months away, right? So therefore, we don't suggest that. And the reasons are as follows. Number one, IIBA has not declared the date when they will switch over. Okay, their current working view is quarter 1 of 2016, but we don't know, right? Because IIBA has to do a lot of work to now prepare for BABOK 3.0 based CBAP and CCBA. So they have not declared. So it is therefore, already CBAP and CCBA is pretty tough. You know that. Those of you who have prepared for CBAP and CCBA, it is very tough, and it will probably become tougher with new BABOK coming, because new BABOK has a lot of content in it. So probably it will be tougher. So if you want the certification for your career progression or for anything, actually, I will recommend that go ahead with that certification. Don't wait for BABOK 3.0. The knowledge accumulation and learning is a continuous exercise. So post your BABOK certification, you can read the BABOK 3.0. It will be not entirely different, as you have seen the knowledge areas. The knowledge areas have undergone some change, but basic 6 knowledge areas and an underlying competencies remain there actually. So you can take the exam on version 2.0. And BABOK 3.0 is twice in volume. So, if you are planning to take on 3.0, be prepared to study more. It will require significant amount of preparation. Our study shows that, those people who attend a good training, such as ours, Vellicate Technologies, have spent about 100 hours post-training. Otherwise, people have spent something about 500 hours of the preparation. So it requires significant amount of preparation, and BABOK 3.0 is more in volume, so it will definitely require more preparation. The next question, will there be a change in exam pattern or the process? Okay. And we don't know the answer yet. IIBA said that they will recalibrate these exams. So there is going to be some change. There will be definitely some change, but we don't know for sure what that change will be. Since the contents have increased, IIBA may increase the professional development hour requirement. Current requirement for both CBAP and CCBA is 21 hours of professional development or 21 hours of training. However, because these contents have increased, it will be difficult to deliver a good training in those 3 days. And therefore, the training need may be increased. So professional development hours will increase. Probably they will increase. And that will lead into increase in cost and your time investment in that. Okay, so these are few questions that I thought I'll answer proactively, and then we will move to the next area, and then I'll come back to more questions that you might be having. So if you're planning to take the exam based on BABOK 2.0, which is what our recommendation is, then how do you strategize your CBAP and CCBA? So next section is all about that, actually, strategizing and earning your CBAP before it becomes tougher CBAP based on BABOK 3.0. Right, so developing those strategies. So first of all, we need to for developing any strategy, you need to understand the risk and the process so that you can navigate. So this is the process, actually. You start and you submit the application. So you prepare and submit the application. Two things can happen here. Either your application will get approved or your application will get rejected. If the application is rejected, then you lose that money, $125, which is an application fee. So you lose that $125. However, there is a bigger impact. You have to wait for 3 months before you can reapply. So there is a wait time of 3 months before you can reapply. And this 3 months can come between you and BABOK 3, may come between you and BABOK 3 because IIBA is switching over the exam to BABOK 3. So therefore, you need to ensure that your application is not rejected. Otherwise, you wait for those 3 months and then you will have to reapply again and you will have to pay that $125 fees again. Right, so this will be a loss of money and also loss of that time of 3 months. So this is one risk that is there. The second one is that if your application is approved, right? If your application is approved, then you will have to write the exam. So you write the exam, and again there are two possibilities: either you pass or you fail. Right? If someone fails, then there is another wait period of 3 months. So you lose that 3 months again, and therefore that may also come in between you and your exam based on BABOK 2.0, right? And you also pay $265 if you pay. The fees for rewriting exams is $265 for the members of IIBA. Okay, so you will have to pay that money, and that is another loss. So basically your strategy should be, how do you pass? Yeah, so your strategy is to follow this green path and ensure that you're not leaving anything to chance and you are passing in first attempt. Okay, so that will be your strategy, and we are going to spend time now how do you foolproof this strategy. Okay, so first one is the application. Okay, so I'm not going to go in the detail because we have already delivered one session on how to prepare your application so that it is not rejected. So I'm not going to cover that in detail. However, I will summarize. So application process is stressful. It is daunting. Most people say it is most difficult part of achieving your certification. Okay. So if in case you need help, please contact us. We will be very happy to help you so that your application is not rejected. Okay. Our courses, they provide assistance in completing the application to all those people who participate in our program. So we help them that. But all of you, actually, you are most welcome to contact us. We will provide you a tool which you can use and ensure that your application is not rejected. Some of the common reasons for rejection, and you need to see this, actually, this is 99% of the rejections are because of these three reasons. Number one, the BA experience is wrongly captured. The CBAP requires 7,500 hours of BA experience, while CCBA requires 3,750 hours of experience, and these experience criteria is not met because it was not captured properly. Also, for CBAP, you need to demonstrate 900 hours of BA experience in at least 4 out of 6 knowledge areas. Similarly, for CCBA, you need to demonstrate 900 hours of experience in 2 out of 6 knowledge areas, or 500 hours of BA experience in 4 out of 6 knowledge areas. So if you are lacking any of these, your application will get rejected. And that has been one of the key reasons why many applications get rejected. The second reason that we have found is 21 hours of professional development. And many times these trainings that are reported, they are not business analysis related trainings, and that led to the rejection of application, right? So that is another area. The third area is that you need to provide 2 references, and these references need to know you for more than 6 months, right? And this has been the third error, that the references that you chose, they did not know you for more than 6 months. They knew you less than 6 months, and that has been the third major reason for your application getting rejected. So take care of these reasons, and you will take care of major causes of the rejection of the application. Okay. Now there is a second part of it, which is this: need to ensure that you pass, you don't fail, right? So foolproof your CBAP and CCBA. And again, we had delivered another webinar where we had done the research why people not able to obtain their CBAP or CCBA. So we had done some survey and we had published that result. We had delivered a webinar like this. That webinar is still available on YouTube, so you can look at that webinar for details. But here I'm going to cover some of the things at high level. Okay. So top 10 reasons for not earning your CBAP and CCBA, right? Failing. One is not enough study time. You will require about 80 to 100 hours, even if you attend even our training actually. So after our training, we can guarantee between 80 to 100 hours. And depending on what is your preparation method, you might have to actually allocate more time. So not spending enough study time and going for exam has been one of the reason why people could not pass. The second one also actually, a lot of people came to us with inappropriate and ineffective training. Some of the people are overtrained. You people are working, 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, if not 6, right? And you don't have much time. And these people are overtrained, so you need to see that you are just getting enough training. And in our opinion, 3 days or maximum 4 days are good enough. We have seen people who are coming to us. Those people had taken the training which is segregated into multiple weekends. And when you have those trainings over multiple weekends, actually you lose the continuity, and that has been a major problem. Also, we have seen the training material being poor, or the trainer actually not very well trained to deliver the training, because training actually is an skill, is an art. Need to have a very trained trainer who will make you understand the concepts. And there is a myth that if someone is a CBAP, can really deliver a CBAP training. Not true, really, not true. So that is another cause of the poor understanding of the concepts, and you need to understand the BABOK concept thoroughly. The other one is, there are some people who provide the e-learning bundled with the training, and e-learning is given as if this is a study resource. However, the experience of people shows that e-learning is not useful at all, because it is very time consuming, and the quality of e-learning is not a good preparation resource. It takes a lot of time, does not explain those concepts in so much detail as you will see in the book and other material, and therefore this gives you a false sense of being prepared. right? So this gives a false sense of being prepared, and beware of this. There are a lot of number of organizations who say that 100% success rate. Beware of that actually. First of all, it is not true. The second thing is, when someone says the 100% success rate, you get overconfident, and that overconfidence is very dangerous actually. You need to evaluate your preparation and then write it. The third major cause is using only one method for study. So whatever you have got a class material, and you use that class material, and that class material may not be complete. So using only one method for study, like some people use that e-learning, so they used only e-learning, right? And that is not enough. Or relying on wrong method of study. Each one of us have some personality, and our personality need to go with the material that we are using. Some people can learn very well by watching the videos, watching the YouTubes. Some people are detailed oriented people. They have habit of reading multiple books to ensure that they have in-depth understanding. If their understanding is not in-depth, they will not be able to prepare that well. So another observation, and this also came through our survey, that a lot of people ask, please share your way of preparation. How did you prepare for your CBAP when someone gets successful in CBAP? Please understand, the person's preparation method may not work for you. It is individual, right? So the preparation has to align with your learning style. Also, not answering enough practice question, and I would like to disclose over here, Watermark, we are actually exclusive partner of Watermark Learning in India, and Watermark provides that online exam simulator, which is used in over 80 countries, and that is probably the best one. And people consistently have said that the practice questions or simulation is the best resource for the preparation. And we also found that this is the best resource, because then you know whether you are prepared to write your CBAP or not. You also know what you don't know, so that you can focus your study time in the right areas. So that is a very important aspect. Also, applying too soon or waiting till the last moment. Some people, their application gets approved and application remains valid for 1 year, right? And you are busy in your own work, and therefore you have not been able to prepare. And you realize that now your application is coming to a stage where it will be expired within a month or 2 months, and then you start preparing. So you're not fully prepared. So that is one of the reason why people could not pass. The other reason is that as soon as the application is approved, or as soon as you have attended the training, finished your training, your application is approved, and you take the date without assessing whether you are ready or not. And when you have taken the date, you write on that particular date. So that has been another reason why people fail. Also, in all classes, people try to reconcile when I teach them how this is related to, how these BABOK concepts are related to their work. They try to reconcile this thing. And when you're writing the exam, please ensure that you are focusing on BABOK, because that's what the exam based on. And in the organizations, actually, the BA practices are quite often not aligned with the BABOK. So answering the questions based on your work experience is a bad idea, and that has led to failing. Also, some people try to just memorize the BABOK, and we have seen people who have, who had by-hearted the BABOK. However, the CBAP exam requires you to understand the BABOK, not by-heart the BABOK, right? So therefore, if understanding is not there, memorizing BABOK doesn't help. And finally, not starting or not finishing. You want to earn your CBAP, but you have not started from some reason or the other. Either you find it too costly to start this or to take the CBAP, or you don't have time, or you did not find a good training, or whatever it is actually, right? So not starting and not finishing is another reason. So these are the 10 reasons that I thought I'll share with you again, and ensure that you are aware of that, and you take care of them and pass your exam in first attempt. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share, and I'll take your questions. So we have covered those key differences in BABOK 3.0 over 2.0. How do you plan your certification, and how can you overcome the pitfalls to earn your certification? So that's what I have with me, and I'll take your questions. So I already have some questions over here. Okay, so Lekha has, I have been practicing almost all concepts of business analysis in my profession as a test engineer for past 6 years. Will I be eligible to take CBAP exam and achieve the certification? Lekha, I guess so. You should be able to take the CBAP exam. So first objective of yours will be to ascertain that you meet that criteria of CBAP, which is 7,500 hours of BA experience, right? And if you do meet that criteria, go ahead with this and earn your CBAP. If you don't meet that criteria, my suggestion will be don't hesitate. Go for CCBA. Both certifications are gold standard certifications. Okay. Can we get a sample test paper for CBAP and CCBA? There are something that is available on the web. So there are some material that is available on the web. However, the quality is questionable, right? We have the question set that we give to our people during the training. So Atul, maybe write to me separately, and I'll see that if I can help you. Okay. Okay, so another question, just a minute. I'm based in Pune. Can I join Vellicate's remote course? Of course, you can join Vellicate's remote course, and the effectiveness of the course is as good as the classroom course. So you can join that course. We courier the course material to your place, and the course is conducted for 3.5 hours every day. So it is over 6 sessions to ensure that the participants are able to assimilate that particular knowledge. Can we get a sample test paper for CBAP and CCBA? I have already answered that question. Yeah, contact me, write to me. I'll see what I can do. Okay, any other question? I also wanted to share with you to support the need of the CBAP and CCBA aspirant. we are launching more programs. So stay tuned. You can find more courses on our website, and especially the virtual courses. So stay tuned. Visit our website, vellicate.tech.com. Those of you who want to attend the training programs, most welcome. If you want to purchase the Watermark CBAP Certification Preparation Guide or the exam simulators, you can again contact, you can visit our website, you can purchase that online. So we are here to help you achieve your certification in whatever way. Even if you're not purchasing, if you have a question, if you have a difficulty, feel free to ask us. We answer all the queries, we support you in whatever way we can. Okay, so if there are no questions, I would like to close over here. Thank you very much for your time and joining this webinar. I'll just wait for 2 more minutes if you have a question to answer that question. Okay, there is one question by Jaydev. Wanted to know the time frame within which one should write the exam once the application is approved. So Jaydev, when the application is approved, application remains valid for 1 year, and you can write the exam anytime within that period. IIBA takes about 15 days maximum to approve your application. Okay. Atul asking when is the next batch starting? Atul, where exactly, in which city? Um, and Atul is also asking where is the Vellicate office in Bangalore. So Atul, we are based out of Core Mangla. So you can contact us and we will provide that detail. And also visit our website, which has the details of the courses in every city. We deliver the training in 6 cities, so you can get that. Bangalore, our training is starting on 11th of July. So we have 11th, 12th, 13th, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. There is a CBAP and CCBA preparation course. Okay, Atul. Can you please explain 7,500 hours of work experience? Lekha said that. Lekha, this is a bit difficult to explain in this time. However, in a week you have about 40 hours, and that 40 hours, even if you are a full-time BA, you don't spend 40 hours doing the BA activities. So consider about max 85%, which gives you roughly about 133 hours every month. So consider actually 133 or 135 hours every month, and that is the maximum time that is available to you. And then you can do the maths and see when you have that. You can contact me offline and I can explain you the process for this. Okay, so if there are no more questions, thank you very much for joining, and appreciate your time. Have a good evening. Thank you so much.